Welcome at It's Never Too Far Away. In this video I will be flying Ethiopian from Brussels to Addis Ababa and onwards to Johannesburg. The aircraft is currently already here. It arrived in the morning and the departure is at 10 p.m. It's an Airbus A350 from Brussels to Addis Ababa. My ticket actually includes an onboard connection also from Johannesburg to Cape Town, but that is operated by South African, yet it is an Ethiopian onboard ticket. Ethiopian, currently the one truly global airline of Africa. The hub is Addis Ababa, where a pretty impressive fleet of absolutely modern aircraft are lined up. The fleet has the Boeing 777-200 and 300, the Dreamliner 8 and 9, the Boeing 767-300 and A350-900s on long range in pretty big numbers. Also the 737-700, 800 and MAX 8. Also there are regional -8Q400s. The global route network spans all continents except Australia, with lots of regional and long-range services.
We are here to ensure you have a safe and enjoyable journey. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Sheba Mile first-time Starline passengers. The flying time to Johannesburg will be 5 hours, and we shall be cruising at an altitude of 40,000 feet.
All doors are equipped with slide rafts that can be used as a flotation device.
ክብራትና ክብራን መንገደኞቻችን አሁን ለመነሳት በምናደርገው ዝግጅት የመቀመጫ ቀበቶቻችሁን እንድትታጠቁ
So let's try them out. Boarding passes were downloaded online. Only the last leg on South African Airways was not accessible for check-in. On boarding the aircraft, there was not any word of welcome. Only the correct aisle was indicated. Inside the cabin, there was no attention to the incoming passengers. Boarding finished quickly as the flight was not full. There was only a recorded welcome announcement to the frequent flyers, but no word from any crew. The pilot made an announcement which was neither welcoming nor informative.
Good evening from the flight deck. Your captain speaking. My name is Now. Abel is your first officer and Azeb your cabin supervisor. Welcome aboard in flight number 733. From Brussels National to Addis International with the Airline service, we are now completing our preparation for departure. Loading the final baggage. Once we are done on our way after departure, we'll give you the details. Thank you.
The seat had good leg room and power supply. Wi-Fi was available on board. The touch screen of the entertainment system was easy to use and it was also pretty large. The cabin was in good condition, so only the crew was unfortunately not nice at all. Their style was harsh and authoritarian. Their dark green uniforms at least were looking good. One hour into the flight, meal service started, delivered by two crew. One harsh, one did not care at all. Main choice was fish or beef. I asked for a beer, a guy nearby for a wine, which visibly angered the crew who had to bring those from the galley. The tray was well filled with a number of separate items. The refreshing tomato salad was spiced and tasted great. The bread with butter and a creamy cheese was fine. The main dish was a bit small, but it tasted good. And this one goes to all airlines who have cut the cost for salt and pepper. Also, the white chocolate mousse was nice. but inside was a solid, big, sharp plastic piece that must have broken off from somewhere. I only found it after biting on it. While eating, a coffee was served without any charm. After the meal, it was a good time to check out the entertainment system. The menu was easy to navigate. There were a few categories of movies with big choice. I also found the selection of TV series and documentaries large. Now back to the home page and selecting audio. The choices here were surprisingly limited. Back to the main menu. Selecting Wi-Fi information. Alright, nothing here really. Back to the main menu. Selecting the flight map. That's really a pretty nice one that I enjoy using. Finally, also the selection of games was not so bad. About 1 hour after dinner finished, I visited the toilet. Both toilet rolls were empty. The air was nicely perfumed, but overall cleanliness was not very good. The Airbus A350 is featuring mood lighting functions, but they were not used at all during this flight. Before leaving cruising altitude, the harsh crew member delivered another drinks service. Before landing, as usual, blankets were collected and the cabin was prepared. Everything in a harsh way. After arrival, the aircraft deplaned at a remote stand. Only the forward door was used for that. As the flight was not full, that was okay. Having arrived in the morning rush, the feeling at Addis Ababa is like a little Dubai. Lots of the same planes, the number of flights is exceeding the gate positions by far. Being in Africa, Ethiopian really has built an impressive hub business. This video is about the experience on the airline, but there will be another video just about Addis Ababa Airport on my channel. My next flight to Johannesburg is also leaving from a remote stand. That's a pity, because the bus gates are a terribly uncomfortable part of the terminal. Those engines are so humongous, like the diameter of a regional plane. The seats were basically again the same, but the screens were smaller than on the other A350. Luckily, the very important leg room was as good as before. The welcome at the door and in the cabin were actually much better than on the other flight. Interestingly, this flight to one of the most important destinations in Africa was almost empty.
We are here to ensure you have a safe and enjoyable journey. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Sheba persons and passengers. The flying time to Johannesburg will be 5 hours, and we shall be cruising at an altitude of 40,000 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign and you may move around the cabin. However, it is always recommended to keep
Takeoff done, on our way. 40 minutes into the flight, drinks were offered, but no beer here. So I took coffee and also a water was offered. Then came a cookie, and actually the stewardess came back offering me a local or international beer. Another hour later, full meal. Bread roll with butter and soft cheese. Noodle salad, very nice taste. And the main dish, fish with rice, is really so good. Portion also totally good. Dessert, enjoyable mango mousse with chocolate chips. Finally, some crackers. Toothpick, salt and pepper, all included. So that is catering from Addis Ababa. Honestly, lots of other supposedly good airlines should be aware and ashamed. This wasn't only really good, this was much better than what you get in so many airlines. The only weird thing was, when I praised the food to the stewardess, she acted like a nice comment is not welcome. Anyway, the crew was unfortunately once more the least good part of the flight. They were again rather unfriendly and absolutely indifferent towards their passengers.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is from the flight deck. We are currently approaching our destination, Johannesburg, South Africa, and after about 5 minutes we will start our descent. The weather on our destination is clear sky with a temperature of 70 degrees centigrade, and we expect to arrive at our destination local time 1:05. And once we start our descent to advanced fastening intervals, once again, thank you for choosing the Starlines member to finalize. Wish you have a good flight and a very good time on your destination. Have a good day.
Before arrival, as always, the crew came and advised to raise the tray table. But she did not pick up my empty cup and can, which I had to place on the luckily free seat next to me. Princess, that's poor work. Especially when you consider how empty the flight was.
If you require any assistance, please remain in your seat seat until all other passengers are deplaned. One of our crew members will then be pleased to assist you.
So how to conclude? I always wanted to try Ethiopian. Unfortunately, the crew ruined an otherwise good to very good product. As it is, just before finishing this video, I again flew Ethiopian on a short leg from KL to Singapore. And again, it was the crew that made that particular flight bad. To have no better crew effort is actually a bit of a pity, because otherwise it is really impressive to see such a good product and big network. We shouldn't forget that the airline business environment in Africa is really not the best in the world. So much for my journey on Ethiopian Airlines. At this point, as always, many thanks for watching. And don't forget, it's never too far away.